Good morning and a warm welcome to lesson 181. So we're moving into a new period again and some really gorgeous gems of lessons coming up. Going to be a little bit longer after doing the reviews, but let's get stuck in. So allowing ourselves to arrive, land fully. And this time is all about acknowledging, why we're here and that we've carved out this time in our day. And perhaps this morning we just open our palms. So just sitting there with your palms open, with your gaze soft. And then feeling that openness in your palms and transfer that to your heart now. Really open your heart. And we can move into our daily offerings. We begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts and we surrender to love. We ask that love lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth that we are one, that we are love, and that we are free. And so we release these words and we let it be. So, lesson 181. I trust others who are one with me. So we're really going to open our hearts and open our minds to recognizing that there is no other, that we are part of one unit, which is this divine universal force. And it's like we've all been carved out of it. I often see it like those paper chain dolls, they're all carved out of the one newspaper. They're all joined together. They are all the one. They're appearing separate. So we appear in separate forms. So one would think that we are separate, but in truth, we're not. So I trust others who are one with me. Trusting others is essential to establishing and holding up your faith in your ability to transcend doubt and lack of sure conviction in yourself. So if you want to really believe who you are, you must be able to have faith and trust in others. When you attack another, you proclaim that they are limited by what you have perceived in them. So you're attacking them because of something you believe about them, which is a believed limitation. You do not look beyond their errors, rather they are magnified. So we're always asked to use our Christ vision and look beyond. However, what we do is we tend to look straight at what we think has happened and magnify it. So they become blocks to our awareness of the self, the capital S, that lies beyond your own mistakes and past their seeming sins as well as yours. So really what happens is we move into this place of stuckness, and it comes from a perception, a limited perception that we have that causes us to attack another. Now, attack another could be called, talking about somebody on the phone. Oh my God, I can't believe what she said. I can't believe what he said. And we've all had those conversations. We've all witnessed those conversations. We've all been at the other end of those conversations. And that's what attack can look like. I mean, sometimes it's a bit more forceful and a bit more physical, but just start to become mindful of your word and how you use your word in relation to others. Perception has a focus. It is this that gives consistency to what you see. Change this focus and what you behold will change accordingly. So this is what we find out, is that a miracle is a shift in perception. Your seeing now will shift to give support to the intent which has replaced the one you held before. Remove your focus on the other's sins and you experience the peace that comes from faith in sinlessness. So instead of looking at what you think somebody has done wrong, you focus on their innocence, what's good and right about them. This is a whole new way of looking at things. This faith receives its only sure support from what you see in others past their sins, beyond these sins you believe they have committed or done. For their mistakes, if focused on, are witnesses to sins in you. So it's like you hold this belief in sinfulness rather than innocence. And that means if you see it in others, it exists in you. And you will not transcend their sight and see the sinlessness that lies beyond. So again, this takes practice. Remember, we have lived another way for a very long time. Therefore, in practicing today, we first let all such little focuses give way to our great need to let our sinlessness become apparent. We instruct our minds that it is this we seek and only this for just a little while. So again, don't worry about everything else. Just focus on this one little thing. We do not care about our future goals. And what we saw an instant previous has no concern for us with this interval of time wherein we practice changing our intent. We seek for innocence and nothing else. We seek for it with no concern but now. So this, for me, and I'm sure I've shared about this before, has been one of my greatest lessons, particularly around the family. So the invitation is to meet somebody where they're at right now without their history. And we're invited to do that with everyone. So that includes our families, that includes friends, that includes acquaintances, that includes anybody that you've ever heard a story about. You're asked to drop all awareness of them other than what's showing up right now. And in what's showing up right now, you're going to look beyond that into the innocence that you know exists inside that person because they are love. A major hazard to success has been involvement with your past and future goals. You've been quite preoccupied with how extremely different the goals this course is advocating are from those you held before. And you have also been dismayed by the depressing and restricting thought that even if you should succeed, you will inevitably lose your way again. So, you might have this notion that this is hard work, having to do things differently, and that can feel disillusioning. But really and truly, this is such, I suppose, a beautiful way of learning to live in the moment, of practicing mindfulness. So it goes on. How could this matter? For the past is gone and the future only imagined. For the past is gone. So we really want to wrap our heads around this. The past is gone. The future only imagined. It's a fantasy. The future is a fantasy. These concerns are defenses against present change of focus in perception. So we're asked only to change our focus right here, right now, nothing more. We lay these pointless limitations by a while. So we're going to put those aside. We do not look to past beliefs, and what we will believe will not intrude upon us now. So anything that we used to believe, we're going to just let that go, and we enter into a time of practicing with one intent, and that is to look upon the sinlessness within. We recognize that we have lost this goal if anger blocks our way in any form. And if another's sins occur to us, our narrowed focus will restrict our sight and turn our eyes upon our own mistakes, which we will magnify and call our sins. So for a little while, without regard to past or future, if blocks arise, we will transcend them with instructions to our minds to change their focus as we say, "It is not this that I would look upon. I trust all others who are one with me." So if something comes up, and look, it says that the goal is lost if anger blocks your way in any form. That isn't to say that you're never going to feel angry. But if you realize that you're really stuck in a place in anger and you're not moving on, you can recognize pretty easily that it's a block. So then you're going to use this. It is not this that I would look upon. So we're going to choose again. We're going to choose something different. And this is what we're choosing. We're choosing to trust because we're going to recognize that all others, and that is all others, and that always seems huge, like, what? Love everyone? Trust everyone? Yes, yes, yes. So I trust all others who are one with me. And we will also use this thought to keep us safe throughout the day. We do not seek for long-range goals. As each obstruction seems to block the vision of our sinlessness, we seek for ending from the misery the focus upon sin will bring. That's very clear. Focusing on sin brings misery. And remember, the word sin means missing the mark. And uncorrected will remain. So things will remain uncorrected. They will remain the same. We'll go around judging ourselves and judging everybody else if we don't start to do something different. And, the definition of madness is that doing something over and over and expecting different results. And I'm sure you'll agree this is a very, very different way of moving through the world. So, and also use this thought to keep us safe throughout the day. I read that piece. Nor do we ask for fantasies, for what we seek to look upon is really there. And as our focus goes beyond mistakes, we will behold a holy, sinless world. And that's holy spelled with a W, so a completely sinless world. When seeing this is all we want to see, when this is all we seek for in the name of true perception, then the eyes of the innocent child of God are inevitably ours. And the love it feels for us becomes our own as well. This will become the only thing we see reflected in the world and in ourselves. And it doesn't mean that you won't switch on the news and hear something about, about Trump or Putin or somebody else. But what it does is it changes our perception, and we realize that they are actors on a stage, that they are playing these characters. And these characters in this illusionary world show up as, very cruel and very difficult to understand. But the invitation here is to know that there is an innocent, loving being deep inside. There is a light inside of every living creature, including every human being. And you do start to see that, and you start to drop judgment and this idea that I am better than or different than. And it begins to fall away, and it lends itself to a much more peaceful life. And then you always ask in these situations where, you're feeling judgy, rather than being judgy, going, what's mine to do? Is there something I need to do? Do I need to pray for this person? Do I need to pray for those that suffer at the hands of this person? There's always something that you can do and that Spirit will guide you to do. It will never guide you to judge. The world which once proclaimed our sins becomes the proof that we are sinless, and our love for everyone we look upon attests to our remembrance of the Holy Self with a capital S, which knows no sin, and never could conceive of anything without its sinlessness. We seek for this remembrance as we turn our minds to practicing today. We look neither ahead nor backwards. We look straight into the present, and we give our trust to the experience we ask for now. Our sinlessness is the will of God, the will of love. This instant is our willing one with God's. So we're going to move right now into present moment awareness for a little bit of time of meditation. And we're going to be with this phrase, I trust all others who are one with me. And just allow that to permeate your being. I trust all others who are one with me. So I invite you to drop in, I will mind the time. Give your body a moment or two to settle and to relax. Enter into this space of meditation with ease and with grace. I trust all others who are one with me. Taking a moment to wriggle your fingers and your toes and to rouse yourself and come back in here to the present moment. And I know this can feel in ways like a challenging lesson, but remember, it's a practice for today that's going to be built upon. And what you're invited to do is that anyone who crosses your mind or crosses your path, literally, to see their innocence. So as they come into your awareness, to see their innocence. That doesn't mean that there are places where you don't trust your gut instinct, which is God. That is God within you. Your gut is God. And this place where, you intuitively know that the personality of somebody is not something that you could easily trust, but you do know that beneath that there is love. And so you use your wisdom as well and your gut to, be, I suppose, around the right people that serve you well. And yet what you will find is that more and more people will become the right people and will serve you well by you being willing to see their innocence. And so there will be less and less, let's put it this way, disturbances to your peace, or people that you may have disturbed your peace in the past showing up in your life. So it literally translates to a more peaceful life when you begin to practice like this. Have a great day, and I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow.